These are me and Madden's records from last week. What is up, YouTube? I'm back at you with another video, and this is our week 2 me versus Madden predictions. In case you're curious on how this works, the way we do this is we sim through Madden after I make my prediction, which I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. So I say my prediction, and then we go through and we set all this up, and then we sim, which is what we're doing right now, and it'll have a score at the end of the game, and that'll be what Madden thinks is going to happen in that game. So we're doing a thing where we calculate all these predictions for each of us to see what the records would be. And right now the Chiefs are winning this game, so it looks like me and Madden are going to agree on this game. We will, as the Chiefs win this game 48-21, or not, 41-28, never mind. So yeah, that's how that works. I wasn't able to really calculate for injuries, so this is hypothetically if there were no injuries. Next week I'll try and calculate for injuries. This game I have the Patriots winning, see what Madden has to say. But yeah, that's how that's gonna work, just because I haven't been able to figure out how to account for that. So this is kind of hypothetical when it comes to Madden. So yeah, this is just if there were somehow 0 injuries in the NFL. Obviously that's not the case, but that's just if that was the case. Next week I'll try to account for those, as the Patriots pick this one up. Patriots, they rebound after last week when they got humiliated by the Dolphins, and the Steelers aren't able to keep their win streak alive as they lose. As now we have the Panthers versus the Giants. I have the Panthers in this game. I think Baker Mayfield's going to do really good against this Giants defense, Giants, they won their game. The Titans, they missed the field goal that would have won them the game. So the Giants escaped with a really sketchy win, but I guess a win's a win, right? Because right now the Panthers are winning this game 30-22, as Giants, they were sort of making a comeback at the end, but it was not enough, as the Panthers win this game 30-22. Baker Mayfield able to rally his team to get the win this week, as last week they struggled. As now I have the Jets versus the Browns. Jets played the Ravens last week and lost. Browns barely beat the Panthers. I have the Browns winning this game. I think they're just the more talented roster, and it's at home, so we'll see what Madden says. I mean, I guess technically this isn't that correct, because Zach Wilson's injured, but he's playing in this game. So that's what I meant when I said that this is a hypothetically if there were no injuries. So yeah, my apologies for that. I'll see what I can do to work on that, as the Jets win this game 19-14. So Madden and we have our first, I think this is our first disagreement. Yeah, because up until this point we've agreed on every game. As our next game is the Colts versus the Jags. The Colts, they were down 20-3 against the Texans, and they came back and sent it to overtime, and they tied. So, and the Jags, they lost to the Commanders. I have the Jags winning this game. We'll see what Madden thinks is going to happen. But yeah, that game with the Colts and Texans, that game was crazy. They literally went to overtime, and the Colts could have kicked the game-winning field goal, but they missed it. So yeah, that's not good, as the Colts, they do lose to the Jags, so we do agree on this one. And our next game is the Dolphins versus the Ravens. The Dolphins humiliated the Patriots last week. Ravens, they took care of business against the Jets. I have the Ravens winning this game. We'll see what Madden thinks happens, as right now the Dolphins yeah, that's right, commentating this is impossible, so I'm just gonna sit through this and wait until the end. I'll talk about whatever the score is, because as right now the Ravens are up by 2 scores right now, I think, yeah. And Dolphins do score a touchdown late to make the score look closer, but the Ravens win this one 24-17. As our next game is the Bucs versus the Saints. The Bucs beat the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, and the Saints, they barely beat the Falcons. They required a collapse from the Falcons for them to win that game. I'm actually going to pick the Saints here just because they always seem to beat Tom Brady for some reason, so I expect that to be the same, especially considering that we're at home, so we'll see what Madden thinks. Right now, it's a low-scoring game as the Bucs score, make it a 2-score game. Saints, Bucs, okay. So right now they're tied. Saints take the lead, actually, and the Bucs kick a field goal. And the Saints, they pretty much ran away with it at the fourth quarter, so they do win that game 30-19. As me and Madden agree on this one as well. We're having a lot of similar predictions this week, me and Madden are, as they do beat Tom Brady. As right now, our next game, the Commanders versus the Lions. The Commanders beat the Jags last week, and the Lions, they barely lost to the Eagles. They were down by like 3 scores, and they almost came back and won, but they were unable to. I do have the Lions winning this game, maybe an upset, I'm not sure. I just think they have more momentum, especially considering that it's a home game. So yeah, the Lions, I think, are going to win this game. We'll see what Madden thinks is going to happen. Okay. Yeah, the Lions, they were down like 38-21, and then they came back, and it was 38-35, and then the Eagles were able to put it away on the final drive. They were able to just clock that drive, so yeah, and the Eagles are a good team too. Like, they're at least projected to be a good team this year, so that's actually really impressive for the Lions because their talent level is not that great compared to the Eagles. So Madden does have them winning this game as well. So I think me and Madden have only had like 2 picks where we've differed on this. Right now, it's the Seahawks versus the Niners. The Seahawks, they barely beat the Broncos on Monday Night Football, 17-16. In a very controversial game from the Broncos, as the Niners, they lost to the Bears last week, but I do see them rebounding as I think they will win this game against the Seahawks. Yeah, the reason I said controversial was because the Broncos head coach opted to kick a 64-yard field goal instead of go for it on 4th and 5, and the Broncos had 2 fumbles on the 1-yard line, so that's not great to say the least. So the Seahawks, they just kind of had to sit there and watch the Broncos unravel. So it's the Niners, oh my gosh, they're going crazy on offense as they win this game 44-16. So me and Madden, once again, we're agreeing on this game as well, as they give the Seahawks a dose of reality. As right now we have the Falcons versus the Rams. The Falcons blew a lead against the Saints, and the Rams, they got humiliated on Thursday Night Football against the Bills. I do have the Rams winning this game. They're more talented. It's a home game. I see them rebounding. I just don't see how the Falcons could keep up with Stafford and the Rams, and their defense is pretty good too. So I think the Rams will have this. We'll see what Madden says. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much me and Madden are agreeing this week. I think the only games that we've differed on are I don't even remember the games, but there's only 2 of them. So that's, we'll see how that goes, as the Falcons, see if they can come back from this. They cannot, as the Rams will win this one 28-18. So me and Madden, once again, agreeing on this game as well. So in our next game is the Cardinals versus the Raiders. The Cardinals got absolutely stomped on by the Chiefs, and the Raiders, they had a sloppy game against the Chargers that they lost. I have the Raiders winning this game just because I think they're slightly better, and it's a home game, so I think that could have a big impact too. So I think the Raiders are going to win this game. We'll see what Madden says. Right now, the Cardinals draw first blood. They're up 14-0 now. Now they're up 21-0. Oh my gosh, okay. Now they're up 28-0. Dang, Cardinals, way to prove me wrong, unless the Raiders can somehow come back. Now they're up 31-0, 38-0. Jesus, Cardinals, where was this in week 1? As the Cardinals win this game. Yeah, so me and Madden have finally disagreed for the first time in a while as the Cardinals win this one 38-7. I mean, I don't see how that could happen, but hey, Madden being mad is right now I have the Texans versus the Broncos. The Texans blew a 20-3 lead, but they didn't lose because it went to overtime and they tied with the Colts. And the Broncos, they lost in humiliating fashion on Monday Night Football as they just gave the game away to the Seahawks. As I do have the Broncos winning this game just because they're more talented and like we should theoretically win this game. I'm a Broncos fan, so we need to win this game. If we want to stay alive in the AFC, we need to win this game, and I think we will, just because we're more talented than the Texans. As wow, we're up to 20. Oh, okay, never mind. As the Texans, they're crawling back. They just took the lead. Now they're tied up, and oh my gosh, this is a really high scoring game as the Broncos do get away with that one. As geez, that was a really high scoring game. I mean, I don't really think that's what's gonna happen, but I mean, if it results in a win, I'll take it. As right now it's the Bengals versus the Cowboys in our next game. Cowboys lost to the Bucks on Sunday night, and the Bengals lost to the Steelers on a crazy Sunday afternoon game where it went to overtime after a missed kick, something crazy. I have the Bengals winning this game. We'll see if Madden thinks the same. Oh yeah, I always put my controller on the team that I think is gonna win. So if you are listening to this and you're confused on why I, didn't say the Bengals are going to win earlier, is because I put my controller on the Bengals, so that's why I said they were going to win. As Madden disagrees with me, they think the Cowboys are going to win this game 48-26. As another example of I don't really know how to do that, the injury thing, because Dak's injured, so he shouldn't have been playing this game. Anyway, Bears versus Packers is next. Bears, they beat the Niners in a shocking fashion, as the Packers, they shockingly lost to the Vikings, and their offense was just atrocious in that game. I do have them winning this game, though. It's a home game. They're more talented than the Bears, so I think A-Rod will have a bounce-back game. See what Madden thinks is right now, Packers winning. Bears score, Packers have the ball, they score again, and now they score again. This game's pretty much out of reach, unless the Bears can somehow claw their way back. Now it's 17-28, and yeah, that game was way out of reach. They made the score look close in garbage time, but Packers had this one by the third quarter as they win that game. They agree with me. As right now, our next game, Titans and Bills. Titans, oh man, they lost to the Giants in an ugly game, and the Bills, they humiliated the Rams on Thursday Night Football, and I have the Bills winning this game just because it's at home, and I think they're significantly better than the Titans. Titans really struggled against the Giants, so that's a little alarming, and they lost that game too. So, and the Bills, they're the Super Bowl favorites, so I don't see any team that's better than them. As right now, it's a pretty tight game right now. As the Titans, they take the lead, and the Bills, they tied up. Titans, they kick a field goal, take the lead. Now they're up by 2 scores. So me and Madden, we disagree on this one. Madden thinks the Titans are going to win this game, 23-20. I mean, the Titans do always put up a good fight against the Bills, so that could happen, but I don't see it happening. Anyway, our final game is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Vikings absolutely embarrassing the Packers in Sunday afternoon. The Eagles, they escaped against the Lions in a very high-scoring game. I have the Eagles winning this game because I put my controller under them, so if you don't believe me, you can watch that back. I don't know. But I think the Eagles are going to win. We'll see what Madden thinks is going to happen. The Eagles are up by 1 now. Vikings, they have the ball. They score. Eagles have it. They get it again. They could put this out of reach, but it's still a 1-score game. And the Eagles do survive this game, 24-16. So, yeah, that will conclude Sam versus Madden this week. Me and Madden, we agreed a lot more this week than we did last week. Those are our records for last week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.